I'm Ben Heron and I'm the owner of the Level Up Coaching Academy, and I'm going to show you how you can enjoy your weekends and also nail fat loss. Now, I've helped over 1,300 men from 26 different countries get in the best shape of their lives, and we're going to cover this, okay? So if you love a Saturday night takeaway or a Saturday night meal out like me, you're going to want to stay tuned on this. So the first thing, when we are in a fat loss phase, we need to create a calorie deficit, and you've probably heard of that already, okay? Now, the problem that a lot of people think is when we enjoy our weekends, we enjoy our beers, we enjoy our pizza, these are quite high calorie foods, but we look at these in isolation rather than across the week, okay? So you wanna look at your calories over the course of a week, so your weekly calories. So let's say, for example, you have to get into a calorie deficit. Your calorie deficit is 2,000 calories to begin with, right? You've then got 14,000 calories to play with. So 7 times 2 is 14,000 calories. Now, the likes of like a 1,500 calorie pizza, that is easy to fit into 14,000 calories. Now, if you look at it and you're like, right, I want to fit in a 1,500 calorie pizza into my Saturday 2,000 calories, that's a little bit more difficult. So what we want to do is we want to create a calorie buffer, okay? So you want to, for example, on the Saturday, you want to have a bigger amount of calories. You want to have an extra 1,000 calories. Now, what you would do to achieve that, if your calorie deficit is 2,000 calories and Monday to Friday you took off 200 calories and that was 1,800, that would give you 1,000 calories for the Saturday. Now, when you have that Saturday, instead of 2,000 calories that you've got 3,000. So all of a sudden, you're not thinking about food, you're not feeling guilty, you know that you've worked very hard, but like, as well as that, you haven't went into this sort of restricting binge pattern that a lot of people do. It's only been 200 calories, which can easily be done. Like, that could be done by just taking oils out for calorie spray. If you want like a full guide, I've put a full guide of like loads of easy calorie swaps that are like the exact same food or slightly close, but can help you save like thousands of calories every single week. If you message me the word swaps on Instagram, I'll send you it straight over. It's great, it helps you so much, so it will. But the thing is like, you have that 1,000 extra calories, you can go into that occasion, you don't need to starve yourself on the day and then end up being like, oh, pizza time, and then you end up overeating and overdoing it. Now, the thing to sort of bear in mind is when we have like these weekends, we can't read into the weight too much, because when you go away and have a pizza, for example, you have a lot of carbohydrates and things, and for every 1 gram of carbohydrates, you hold on to 4 grams of water. So when you have that extra, when you have that pizza, on your weigh-in the next day, you'll notice that your weight can be up like 2 kilos, 3 kilos, etc. And with that being said, you can freak out and you can think you've gained a lot of body fat. The rule for body fat is, if you eat 3,500 calories over your maintenance, I'm just going to say, I'm going to point, I think, over your maintenance, then you have a pound of body fat. So that like 4 pounds gain, that won't be body fat, that's just extra water and inflammation, etc. Okay, and that'll come down pretty easily. But the problem is, a lot of guys will read into that too much and not take the bigger view, okay, the grand view, and sort of zoom out. And this is what we end up doing with a lot of our guys, helping them sort of see that bigger picture. And so that's important to bear in mind. Now, with the buffer and stuff too, generally what you'll find is on the, like after the Saturday night, you will probably not be as hungry on the Sunday. So you can also pull back, but I wouldn't recommend pulling back either before or after more than 20%. I'm not a fan of doing these long, big fasts and things. And when you say, for example, have your Saturday night meal, you want to like have high protein, have high fiber, a lot of vegetables and things, because you know that if you have the Saturday night pizza, you're going to have a lot of carbs and a lot of fats. So you want to prioritize that, and that'll help you as well, you know, stay full before the Saturday night meal, etc. And when you're out for that meal, remember, like, yes, food's nice and I enjoy it. I love a burrito, I love pizza and whatnot. I love my cider, my Magners, and so do all my guys. Like, they fit in their favorite foods. But remember, when you're there, yes, you're there to like try food, but you're there for the occasion. You know, you're there for your partner, you know, you're there with your family, your friends, etc., your colleagues if you're out for something. And it's important not to get carried away, you know, because you can fixate too much on the food and get carried away. And when you focus on the occasion, you'll notice that like you'll stop, you know, when you're full. You'll not just overeat like a gluttonous pig. Because yes, like I said, a lot of it won't be body fat, but if you put your mind to it, like, you know, you can plug away a fair amount of calories if you really put your mind to it, when you take into consideration starters, mains, desserts and things. Like, we do have to have some form of restriction so that we can, you know, shift off body fat. But again, it's about factoring it. It's about what we do on average, you know, that's the key. It's about, even when you say, for example, let's say you do overshoot it, that the next day, you know, you're back to your normal ways, you're back into your calorie deficit. The problem is like, so many guys will have a big occasion or have a high calorie day, and then it's 5 weeks before they get back to it. So many guys as well, they don't have an actual structure around their food and around their calories. So what happens is they kind of just eat well, eat healthily. That's their attempt. But then they have this occasion and they don't know, like, you know, if you've went into that Saturday night, you've got confidence. If you've buffered sort of 1,000 calories, you've got confidence in sort of what you can sort of eat and still make progress. And then you feel, you know, more successful. The thing is, right, remember this, when you play more than you work, it comes at the expense of how you look and how you feel. So we do have to work hard. We do have to, you know, enjoy ourselves, but we do have to work hard. We do have to put in some of the work, and that'll make the weekend even sweeter. You know, it definitely 1,000,000% can be factored in, but I'm not going to bullshit you and say that, like, look, you can sit on the sofa 7 days a week and still fit your weekend in and still, you know, get abs and whatnot. Like, there is an element of, we do need to make some form of change. And again, like, that's why like we have such a high success rate, is because we show the guys, look, we want to have these foods in, we want to have these meals out, we don't want to sit like a social recluse, but also as well, we get you the results. We give you real talk. We help you analyze and understand, you know, the exact amounts. We help educate you. When you look at a meal, like, you're able to know, right, okay, the burgers and sweet potato fries, it's probably going to be less calories than the pizza and chocolate fudge cake. And if I've had like the last 3 nights eating out, like, I can do this. Like, we had a guy, and so we did, Mark, who literally, like, his work, he had to basically eat out every day with clients because he was winning business. And we were able to help him shift off 36 pounds. So we were even whilst eating out every single day, not just the weekends, every single day. But it was because we helped him analyze, you know, when he looks at a menu, he can roughly know what's the highest calorie and what's the lowest calorie here. And sometimes we had to have a lower calorie sort of, you know, meal out. It wasn't always sort of his like the wine, the cheese boards and the main course. Sometimes it was a lighter day, but that still allowed for him to, you know, be in the occasion, win the business, and also as well have moments where he did have the higher calorie days and still finish fat loss and never need to think about dieting ever again. And it might sound to you like, oh, I don't want to track calories, I don't want to know. Let's be real here. You're going to eat every single day for the rest of your life. If you don't even know what's in food, Do you know, even if you're a Monday to Friday dieter and you know what's in like 200 grams of chicken, but if you don't know what's like roughly, like when you're out at a meal, what the calorie content is, etc., just even roughly, you're going, like, that is really dangerous, you know? Like, you're gonna eat every single day for the rest of your life. Like, you wanna have an awareness of that. You wanna be able to like know that you can have your weekend and still be able to, you know, be lean, be athletic, monitor and master your body weight. That's what we do here is like we help the guys, you know, get lean, but then we also help them master it so that they can do it. And like at the start, yes, you need to understand things and whatnot and understand the calories and foods, but then you get to a stage where it's just second nature. Like you just know, right, okay, I'm gonna have this. And you also get really in tune with like your hunger signals. You get really in tune with, like, say for example, do you know when you're, you know, like just you've hit a craving but then you're overdoing it, okay? So the main thing that you need is you need to know your calorie deficit. You need to know your weekly calories. You then need to be able to calorie buffer, and you don't want to buffer by more than 20% before or after it. Then you want to remember that the body fat rule is 3,500 calories over your maintenance, so you won't have gained body fat, so don't read into the weigh-in the day after. And you want to enjoy yourself, so you do, but you don't want to play more than you work, okay? Otherwise it comes at the expense of your progress and how you look and how you feel. So like I said, if you want an idea of sort of like how to start saving calories, just message me the word swaps on Instagram and I'll fire that over. And more importantly, enjoy yourself as you know, get leaner. That's the important part, because like the real thing, yes, the end result looks great, but the journey is like, you know, it's really, really important. And like I use this analogy with my guys a lot, is let's say we've got two people climbing a mountain. One person climbs that mountain and they just try to get up to the top of the mountain as fast as possible. And because they try to do it so fast, it's painful. It's they work hard. They don't ever appreciate the view on the way down. You know, they do it solo. They don't do it with others because they've, you know, just wanted to get there fast. Let's now get the second person. The second person doesn't go up as fast, enjoys the view now and again, does it with others, their family and friends. Who's gonna wanna keep, you know, hiking? You know, now I'm not saying you need to be in a fat loss phase forever your life, but like you do wanna, you know, get in great shape, but then also as well just be healthy and have some great habits in place. So that's something I'll leave you with. Like, subscribe to the page, and yeah, go and enjoy your weekends and get the best shape of your life.